It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Weekend observations brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories, available for delivery. Dan, if you listen to the national media after game one, you would have thought this series was over. Altitude, dynasties, all-time great player, blah, blah, blah. But Dan, after a 111, 108 victory in game two, knotting the series at one game apiece and headed back to Miami. Make no mistake about it. The Miami Heat is what I was trying to say. I live in this city.
What happened
I've lived
there?
here for 22 years.
Very
I
dull
have
living in
been
this
there. You're right. I live in West Palm Beach. The Heat are back. We still don't know how to cover these series. I mean, after game one, that was a talk. Dynasties, best player ever, altitude, blah, blah, blah.
You have to say something in the 48 or 72 hours
Yeah, you
between games. There's a
Yeah,
lot.
it's 1-0.
I mean, but we wouldn't make much of a living doing this if you just came in and said
That's
it's
true.
1-0.
That's a good point.
Let's be reasonable about this.
No, it's a fair point. It is. You're right. I'm sorry. I stand corrected. I love a good nodding up of a series. Do you?
It is great.
Sure.
It's great, yeah.
Sure.
Nodding one up, yep. Aaron Judge caught a ball while running through a wall at Dodger Stadium. Hope the wall's okay. Can we please stop making a big deal that Patrick Mahomes is good at softball? Thanks. I mean, Chris is good at softball.
I am.
In fact, I would say that you're better than Patrick Mahomes at softball.
I would say that's
I
false.
would choose you first.
You'd be wrong.
Why would you do that?
He's a keg
First of
softball
all,
player.
Not only would you not
He
choose
bats
him
clean up.
You'd prefer to lose
Chris
the game.
can rake.
No, you'd just like to be next to Patrick Mahomes.
Even based on skill.
Smelling
you
him.
wouldn't.
You just like to smell him.
You're right.
I've seen you around Julio Jones. It embarrassed me.
I was sneaking up on him.
I know. It was very uncomfortable. You would select Patrick Mahomes and then bench him so that you could just sit next to him as the manager on the bench.
But you would agree Chris is probably the better softball player.
I would not agree with
Really?
that. Why would I agree
Upset.
why would I agree with that?
Mahomes was drafted in baseball.
So? This is softball.
You got to hit off Matt
Chris
Latos.
Cody got a hit to the opposite field, a stinger,
school.
a stinger in high school off Matt Latos, who had a career ERA of 4.5.
A tip of the cap to Howard Johnson for making it to the Mets Hall of Fame. Hojo. Top 5 athletes.
Like now?
What do you mean?
When did that
He
happen?
was just inducted.
Why did he hasn't played in 25 years?
He was part of the 86 World Series team.
And I don't understand why.
It takes a minute for some people.
What has he done in the last 25 years to
no
merit it?
idea.
What if they?
It was him and Al Leiter, I believe. I can't believe it.
Congratulations, Hojo.
Thank you. Top 5 athletes that connote a restaurant chain. Number 5, Mike Flanagan. Number 4, Lanny McDonald. Number 3, Popeye Jones. Number 2, Taco Fall. Number 1, Hojo.
A hotel.
It's a restaurant, too. I mean, when Dan and I were growing up, Howard Johnson's were restaurants, were they not?
I think they were. I
Yeah.
think he's right about
What
this.
did they serve at a Howard Johnson
It was
restaurant?
like a terrible,
IHOP.
like an IHOP. Yeah, it was like a poor man's IHOP.
With a hotel.
Yes, with a hotel attached to it. I believe that's right. Are there still Howard Johnsons? Is that
Just
still
the
a thing?
hotels.
What? There are still the hotels? When I feel like we couldn't find a Howard Johnson's if we traveled all over America. I feel like Howard Johnson's has gone out of business. I haven't seen one in.
Well,
a very,
he'll live forever at
in a
City
very-
Fields.
That's
yeah.
right. Hall of Famer, Mets Hall of Famer Howard Johnson.
Why?
I don't know why.
Apparently, they went defunct 15 months ago, March 2022.
There's one in Naples.
Huh.
$66 a night.
Let's call the restaurant. Let's ask them what they got going on over there.
Here come the Jays.
Here come the Marlins.
In 2019, the Nationals signed Steven Strasburg to a 7-year, $245 million contract. Since signing that contract, Strasburg has pitched 31 1/3 innings. That's all I got. It's my observation.
A disaster. What happened, Chris Cody? Why are you making
I'm
a
just
face?
like, 2019 that was signed?
Yes.
That is wild.
After
He
they
might
won
never
the
pitch again.
series. 31 1/3, $245 million.
They should have kept Harper.
Yep. Nick Cousins. Got to put that top shelf where Mrs. Moeller keeps the peanut butter. How about that? The Kirk Herbstreit, C. Trent Rosenkrantz Twitter beef over players I've never heard of on a 26-29 Cincinnati Red team is the oddest story of the year. Herbie. He takes his Reds very seriously. He's crushing this poor person. Russell Wilson reportedly nixed a deal to the Eagles before it was finalized in 2022. Jalen, that has to hurt. Dan, we are just 9 days away from the second holiest day on J.J. Watt's calendar, Flag Day. Top 5 annual traditions for J.J. Watt on Flag Day.
Okay. Nice.
Number 5, unveils his brand new American flag on the front porch for the upcoming year. Number 4, has his traditional meal of red wine, white clam chowder, and chicken cordon bleu. Could have went blue cheese or
Yeah,
something.
you could have, but it's fine. It works either way.
Takes his boat, Independence, for a spin around the lake. 2,
Is that number 3?
Just gave us
that was
number-
3, yeah.
Okay, but
This is
just-
number
loud.
2.
Okay, that's
Stay with
okay.
me, guys.
Okay,
You
but
gotta
I think
say
you
it out
said
loud.
2. I
Yeah,
said
number 3.
Okay,
Number 2.
Number 2.
Moment of silence for the troops. Of course, with everyone who follows him on social media. And number 1, takes his bald eagle for an extra long walk. The eagle is perched on his shoulder and, of course, wearing an American flag bandana. Its name is America.
I'm really surprised number 1 wasn't just stand.
Yeah, well,
Stand for the flag.
he takes the eagle for a walk.
Salute.
Watch out for the Pirates.
Yes.
An annual tradition, unlike any other, saying how great the NCAA women's softball tournament is because we don't know what else to say about it. It's great, though. Here's one thing I can assure you about Ron DeSantis. That's the first time he's ever worn a flannel shirt. You agree?
Yep.
Dan, you know what the D in DeSantis stands for?
I do not.
Definitely doesn't give a shit about a single person in Iowa. Is this heaven? Not if Ron DeSantis is visiting your state. Watch the Vegas Knights for the first time Saturday night. Good hockey club.
Yeah. Yeah, terrifying.
In this week's edition of June, Dave Canales said the Baker Mayfield-Kyle Trask competition is partially about respect. There's no way they respect each other.
Partially. They respect each other partially.
NBA Finals. Congratulations on starting. My daughter Emma yelled last night, "The white guy with the stupid glasses is out of control." I responded, the Zeller minutes.
It is, I'm going to argue, the greatest delight of these playoffs. Bar none. I will remember them forever.
Dan, you know what the G in Gabe Vincent stands for?
No.
Stands for grapefruits. Mike Malone, I'll address you as Michael when you win a title. Until then, it's Mike. When did Duncan Robinson learn how to take guys off the dribble? Denver, you have altitude, but we have distractions. Good luck. By the way, Who the hell is Dave Corrales? Speaking of hell, Art Briles. Dan, those are the weekend observations.